We just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts to our donors, donors that have given to Dream On Global for years, or donors that have just started this year, or monthly donors that have been giving for the last 6 years. Thank you so much. There's so many families, businesses, churches, ministries, schools that have supported us over the last 6 years, and even specifically this year. We want to say thank you, Hannah and I, from the bottom of our hearts, our team, for being so generous towards the vision that God has put in our hearts. I want to first start off this year-end recap video of 2023, just recapping what God did this year. And I want Hannah to start off with just sharing a real brief story from this year.
Yeah, so we went on our third trip this year to Brazil, and we had a 2-day crusade and a lot of impact in local churches. But what was most striking from this trip is that because of donors like you, we were able to help the team that is there local in Brazil. We were able to help them start their own branch of a Dream On nonprofit organization in their country. And this is the first time that we have had this finger-stretching outreach that's now on another section of the world. And it's because of you, your help, your support. But when we left that event, we were struck by how we could travel 12 hours and we could still be with like-minded people who said, we have these dreams, we have these purposes, these visions, and we want to start this here in our country. And we said, oh my goodness, we've been talking about these different aspects in the United States, and we never told you. And they had already caught the fire that the Lord has been fanning into our lives and Dream On. So thank you, because this one story is seeming almost maybe insignificant to some people, but it is so impactful because when we leave a country, they are continuing. They're continuing to do what the Lord has put in them through Dream On. And we're excited to see this happen in other countries as well over the next couple of years.
Absolutely. Another awesome thing that God started this year was that we've had so many different opportunities to lead short-term mission trips. And we at Dream On Global really believe that short-term mission trips have the ability to change one person's life, their whole family, and a local church community just through a short-term mission trip. And so it's really special in our heart. And so we've had so many opportunities to lead these short-term mission trips. And most of our team is bivocational, so we could only do so much. And we felt really challenged towards the beginning of the year to really believe God for a new hire of a director of missions that could start to help us build the processes to be able to handle more short-term mission trips. So Corey Wasson jumped on our team mid-summer. Corey's an awesome guy with a heart for the Lord. He was a missionary, him and his wife, in Morocco for 6 or 7 years. But he jumped onto our team this year, and what a blessing it's been as we're planning more for the future to be able to take the church on more short-term mission trips. So not only, like Hannah said, that were we in Brazil, we were in Honduras, as always, and all that God has been building in Honduras over the last 10 years as well. But we had in the summer our revival tour. Pastor Wilmer came up to Ohio and actually spent 2-3 weeks up here. We were in dozens of churches, reviving hopes and dreams. We saw salvations and miracles. So many amazing testimonies because of donors like you that made that revival tour possible with Pastor Wilmer and his family. The year kind of blew by. So now thinking into 2024, some different things that are already set into motion. We will have the busiest 6 months, first 6 months of a year that we've ever had for Dream On. So we'll be in Honduras multiple times in the first 6 months. We'll be in Brazil again in May. There are just so many different opportunities in 2024 that the Lord is allowing us to be a part of.
Yeah, and what we're so excited about for these trips is that for the first time, we're going to be able to focus simultaneously on two things. And those two things are large outdoor crusades that are bringing the lost, the weary, the hungry, and the Christian who has just lost a spark in their calling. We're going to be doing those events, but then we're also taking a team led by Corey, our mission director, and he is going to be facilitating that team of people who've never been on a mission trip or who love to go on mission trips all the time. That team is going to be going into the community day after day leading up to those crusades. And so we are now doing more of this two-pronged approach that we haven't been able to do in the past simply because there weren't enough of us. And now we are thrilled to see what the Lord has planned when there are more people to reap the harvest of souls and more people to go to the doors and to knock and to go into the churches and to lift up weary hands.
Absolutely. Another thing we're excited about for next year, we've really been working on this for about a year, is that this subject of purpose. So we've been working on a purpose curriculum. We've had this subject on our heart for years of helping the body of Christ lean into that subject of God-given purpose. And so our team is excited to launch that and what that means and what that looks. So watch out for different correspondence regarding when that actually gets launched. We want to see that implemented in your life, in your family's life, in your church's life. We think it's going to be a really impactful curriculum that will help you begin to pursue your created purpose, but then also begin to dream with Jesus within that purpose. So we're really excited about all that God is going to do next year. If we're talking about vision for Dream On, one of kind of the next big steps that we are needing to take as a ministry, God's been so faithful these last 6 years, but healthy things grow, right? So we've been growing, and the opportunities to minister all over the world continue to come in. And as we've all been bivocational these last 6 years, we've reached a point as a ministry where we really need to hire staff. There are multiple areas of the ministry that are sitting primed for growth. There is the harvest is right there, but we just do not have the time currently or the staff to be able to run after these opportunities that the Lord is placing right there. And so over the next year, we want to continue to share more information about what those specific needs are. But if you feel led of the Lord to ask more questions about that or even give towards our needs as a ministry regarding staffing, please reach out. We'd love to share a little bit more of that vision. But that's where we are as a ministry in that next step of really needing to hire some really key positions in the ministry as we move forward. And finally, we just would love to recap just a few things that God has done over the last 6 years that have been really cool.
Yeah, so to date, we have had come through our hands over $700,000 that has been then dispersed into other countries, other people, other people's ministries that are native or indigenous to that country, and we can see that they are going to have a significant impact in that country for the kingdom. With those funds also, monthly we support multiple feeding programs in Central America. And in a feeding program, that simply means that a child is given at least, at minimum, one meal a day. They are given the opportunity to be in a space where they will not be molested, abused, or sacrificed. They are protected in that space. And they are then taught a skill as they age, a skill to have an income when they are of age of 18 to keep them off the street. So that is what some of that money has been going to. It has also been going towards this curriculum reproduction, because our goal with this curriculum is to leave it in the country that we've just had the crusade, and it will be translated into their language. It will be put into the hands of pastors who have gone through the curriculum. They understand the process, they're living that out in their life, and that curriculum will then be the next step after the Purpose Revival or the outdoor crusade. So those funds that you have been supporting and giving so faithfully, that is some of the main large touches that they do every year.
Absolutely. Over the last 6 years, we've been blessed to see hundreds of people give their life to the Lord, but also dozens and dozens of testimonies of people accepting their God-given purpose. And so it's been awesome to see and be a part of those things. And those two things right there, seeing people, their eternity be changed forever, and to see them accept God calling, keeps us moving forward as a ministry of why we do what we do, why we get on planes and go to far-flung nations, why we lose sleep, and why we do all these things. It's because we feel called by the Lord to go after these two specific subjects. So thank you again as a donor. Thank you for those who are considering donating. Your money is making an impact. And so please watch the documentaries, watch all the different content that we have where you can actually see the different areas that your money has gone to and will go to. And another thing we're very proud of is that over the last 6 years, we've been able to build 4 churches in Central and South America. We've helped purchase 1, and we have a goal of building so many more. There is such a need in Central and South America for church buildings. And so if that's something that you're passionate about, you feel a burden for that as well, please reach out and we can share with you what those building projects entail as well. Any final things you want to say?
Thank you. And we are believing, we're praying for you that the remaining portion of 2023 will be indelibly touched by the hand of God, that your life will have this, it will leave a fingerprint for the kingdom, but you'll have the fingerprint of God the Father on your life in such a way that you can only say, it is by the grace of Jesus Christ that I am able to give, that I am able to go, and that I am able to be. And we love you and we thank you for your commitment to all that the Lord has spoken into your heart.
And I want to say one final thing, just as a reminder of those of you who are watching this. After we give our hearts and our lives to Jesus, somehow He divinely connects our purposes and our dreams to His plan for the earth, His plan for souls. And so I want to encourage whoever's watching this, if you're a donor or you're not, or if you're just watching this video by random happenstance, you were created for a purpose. And so this is a time where God is needing His people to not run away from purpose, but to run to it, to not be a Jonah and run far from what God wants you to do, but to run straight into purpose, because He has something very special that He wants to use your purpose in weaving His plan for the whole world. So thank you for jumping into the plan that God has for your life.